Maddox, a Georgia graduate, the only female assistant in college hoops, and she watched the Kentucky team dominate this game. Roderick Rhodes, the jam, and Jamal Mashburn, who made that nice pass to Rhodes in the lane, score it with one. The Monster Mash 19 in the first half. And Rick Pitino says, just watch him on the alley-oop. What a terrific play off the inbounds. Mashburn had 26. Kentucky won by 15, forcing 27 turnovers, remaining unbeaten. Tech was in control. Good passing. Malcolm Mackey to Brian Hill. Sir, the reverse lay-in for the reserve. Tech by 9. How about Hill off the Drew Barry feed? Tech up 17 at the break. Second half, the Terps come back. Dwayne Simpkins, the steal, starts the break and finishes the break, and Maryland would get within 9 points. But too much Tech. Watch Travis Best with a Bobby Hurley-like alley-oop to James Forrest. To close it out, Gary Williams frustrated at home, losing by 10 for Travis Best. Georgetown, Hughes down 1 at the half. Conrad McRae gets him back. Syracuse actually had a 5-point lead in the second half. Watch Lawrence Moten, kid out of D.C., in his hometown with some hustle going through the Georgetown bench. And look at good defense inside from Conrad McRae. But despite what you're seeing here, this was an ugly game. Turnover plagued. Joey Brown would gather the Hoyas and get them going on defense. Gets the turnover. Now feeds it to Robert Churchwell, who had 21 of his own, but gets it back to Brown. 2 of his 7 points, and Jim Boeheim denied. Win 400 for the third straight time as Georgetown wins by 4. Both teams shot under 40%.
Rivalry, Ohio State and Penn State in the Big Ten. First half, Thunderbird with the block. At the other end, it's Lawrence for the Jam. 6 blocks, 18 points, 9 seconds left. Buckeyes with a 2-point lead, but Jennings missed Steve Weidman in the lane. They turn it over, still another chance. Jennings bringing the ball up, loses the handle, and time runs out. A 3-point Buckeyes lead. Bruce Parkhill and Randy Ayers seeing a lot of each other as the Buckeyes bounce Penn State. Thunderbird was benched in that game early in the contest. Other college hoop scores and something you didn't know in a moment. Iowa and A.C. Earl trying to spoil the night. Calbert Cheney blocked baseline, then Earl misses on the offensive end, but goes back and gets it, helps the Hawkeyes to an 8-point lead in the first half. Earl getting frustrated, though, on the block, he thought, called for the foul. Mr. Miserable says, let's get going, and Alan Henderson does. Picks up the loose ball and stuffs it, and Damon Bailey fired up the offense coming off the bench. 21 points in the game, sets up and hits the jumper. He also had 5 3-point shots. That one of them, and it helped kill Tom Davis's team. He couldn't believe his eyes or his ears. And then Calbert Cheney with a nice move here, and he's fouled. He had 14, and Knight gets win number 600. Everybody congratulates him. He says he's going hunting. 21 from Bailey, as we mentioned. Greg Graham had 17. In fact, Indiana had 10 3-point shots. They attempted 23. A.C. Earl only had 11 for the Hawkeyes. So Cherokee Parks taking the entry pass and getting it to go. Goggles and all. Off the bench, Marty Clark with a nice move to the hoop. He had 12. And Parks, who had an outstanding shooting night, 8 of 8 from the floor, scored 19. Hurley helped out with 20. No problem for Duke. 110-67. Mike Krzyzewski, with his team up big, told them at halftime, hey, remember Oklahoma, because that's when Duke blew the 20-point lead and had to win in overtime. Here they just added to it, their 23rd straight win. The Jayhawks at home against Wichita State, and Adonis Jordan with a steal and lays it in. Kansas scoring 40 points off of turnovers. They shot 62%. Jordan with the 3-pointer there, and then more Kansas defense. Eric Pauley starts it with the steal and finishes it with the stick. 10 of 11, and that's a high percentage shot. He had 20 in the game. Backdoor here goes to Darren Hancock. Jayhawks up 19 at halftime, and they pour it on in the second half. Rex Walters, nice little move there. All 5 starters in double figures. He had 16, and the Shockers jolted their worst loss ever.
Now, State coach Pat Kennedy gave a Bobby Bowden-like pep talk.
No more excuses, no more injuries, no more problems. We wrap it together, we play hard, and we start winning basketball games.
Well, would Mr. Ward help win basketball games? He throws passes on the football field, throws them on the court, but catches one there from Sam Cassell, but that was his only goal of the game. He was 1 of 5 from the field. You see the situation second half when Rodney Dobar ties the game, but Corey Alexander gives the unbeaten Cavs a 3-point lead with the 3. Kennedy goes to his best 3-shooter, Bobby Sura. He misses, but he got fouled, so that's 3 free throws for Sura, who went 1 of 2 in his last trip to the line. This trip, he misses the first one, hit the second one, but gets a rim shot on the third one, and Virginia They look like they lost. They were tired, but they won. The Cavs win at home by 4. At Minnesota, it would be tough early. Townsend Orr starts it with the steal and then feeds Chad Colander, who had a great game defensively. Chad Colander with the hoop against Judd Heathcote's team. They were down by 2, Michigan State, turning it over a lot, and they couldn't stop Jason Walton inside for the dunk. Then Walton, the nice baseline move, 14 points, all in the second half, and at the Williams Arena, Walton made Heathcote sick. The code is sickening to look at. Minnesota wins 64-57. Mike Poplawski had won 10 straight, ranked 18th coming in, but this was the Anthony Hardaway show. Penny on the alley-oop. You want more Hardaway? Outside for the 3, and the Tigers take a 1-point lead in the second half. Then they pull away. Hardaway, who did everything on the evening, he'll miss it. He'll get the rebound, get the putback. He'll get a triple-double for the second straight game. 26 points, 12 boards, 10 assists. All 3 of the games you just saw. The higher-ranked team lost, but Ole Miss visiting number 13 Arkansas, and that's Joe Harville with the 3. He had 28. Rebels led by as many as 12, but Arkansas comes back. What a night for Scotty Thurman, the runner. He had 34. Darrell Hawkins, the outlet to Thurman. He misses here, but Clinton McDaniel with the hoop. That's Clinton McDaniel. Arkansas wins by 12 at Barnhill. Thurman with his career-best night. At Pittsburgh, the Panthers win by 7. Eric Mobley had 7 key points down the stretch.
LV and the 49ers going at it, and the streak on the line. Everett Gray gets things going for the Rebs with the spin move and count 2. Brian Russell lit it up for the 49ers, the 3-pointer, and then Gray answers with a 3 of his own. Back and forth, and Raleigh concerned. Late first half, Rod Hannibal, the baseline pass to Lucius Harris, and Byron Russell finishes, and Long Beach leading by 3 at the half. Second half, Brian Camper goes to Russell. This capped an 11-0 49er run. They led by 10. Then Everett Gray answers with a Vegas 11-0 run. Beach still up 4, and Hannibal finishes off the running Rebels. A major moment at Long Beach State, the biggest thing to land in Long Beach since the Spruce Goose. Byron Russell had 33, the Rebels' first loss since December of '91 when they were beaten by Missouri, the 46-game winning streak in the Big West Conference. On 1 at the half, Ray Owens, the dish to Chris Mills, who lays it in. Arizona leading by 5, but Ed O'Bannon, who had 29 in the game, hits the 3-pointer, cuts the lead to 1. Tyus Edney gives UCLA the advantage, dishing to O'Bannon. And UCLA up 80-79. Damon Stoudemire driving the lane. O'Bannon blocks it away. Game tied at 80 when Ray Owens was fouled. Went to the line, made both free throws. He was a 45% free throw shooter coming into this game, but that gave Arizona the 2-point lead. Time running down. UCLA, they go for the win. Mitchell Butler, the 3-pointer, does not go. And UCLA can't come out of there with a rebound. Lute Olson holds on against UCLA 82-80. The Bruins will face Arizona State on Saturday. Arizona will move on to play USC at Inglewood. O'Bannon had 29 points, 500, and Cliff Rozier, kind of a homecoming. He's from the Bradenton area with the shot for 2. He had 9 in the first half. Middle of the first half, James Brewer feeds Greg Minor. He had 10, and Denny and his team with a 13-point lead. Rozier also helping the coach through as George Steinbrenner watches the action. James Brewer throws one in, and Louisville dominating, helping Denny get to 500. He gets the game ball from USF coach Bobby Paschal. And Rozier finishing with 25 points, 13 rebounds.
Remember last year when the Pack swept North Carolina? Well, Carolina sure did, working the ball inside to their big man, Eric Montross. Carolina up by 4 early in the first half, though. Open court, Brian Reese with a pretty move between the legs. Tar Heels up by 9. Carolina had the perimeter game going, too. Donald Williams from 3. Carolina by 10. Then it's Williams again doing the job from outside. North Carolina by 12. On the break, George Lynch finds Montross. Carolina up by 17. They were up by 51-30 at the half, and Donald Williams again from outside. He had 23. Carolina by 26. Then it's George Lynch up to Pat Sullivan. Carolina by 28. Dean, you can stop coaching now. This one was easy. Carolina by 33. Chris Webber. Second half was tied all the way. Matt Waddell grabbing the loose ball and gets it to who else? Why not? He's not going to miss that shot. Robinson with the bucket. Webber has an answer. Takes the Howard miss. Puts it back. Gets the foul. Michigan by 6. Howard with 18 points. Then more Robinson keeping his team in the game. Martin the miss. Robinson the board. Puts in the J. Gets fouled. We're tied at 52. But Webber has an answer for that too. beating Waddell with the speed and then gets the huge reverse jam. Wolverines by 2. Robinson, though, keeping Purdue in the game. The nice spin move, and then he hits the turnaround J. Robinson had 30 points, but finally Michigan's depth was just too much for Purdue. Howard with the easy 2. Then on the break, a little showtime for the Fab. Gene Cady can only admire and wish those guys were on his team. Michigan by 10. Bearcats would spoil this party. Boston native Curtis Bostic doing the job before his family and friends. He had 10 points. Then Bobby Huggins urging on Terrence Gibson to get them going. Gibson listening, creating the steal, goes all the way for the bucket. That's Nick Van Exel with the three-point signal. There's a reason for that, because there goes Van Exel from three-point range. Then he says, hey, I could do that from NBA range too. Then Van Exel, the show continues off the screen, hitting the 3 at 27-point night for Van Exel. That's a career high. The Bearcats have now won 8 of their first 9 games. Chris? Minutes remaining. Mark Boyd getting the rebound here, putting it in. Boyd with 20, USC up by 10. Steven Hedeg Smith lighting it up from three-point range. Arizona State down by 1. Then it's Dwayne Fontana for the lay-in. A lot of intensity in this game. Trojans didn't get up, down by 2. Akram getting the bucket. ASU up by 2. And then Hackett has the hot hand from 3. Trojans lead by 1. But then it's Hackett sealing the win, as you just saw. USC winning this one 87-79. Their 14th straight victory at home. In the Big Ten, Illinois beating Northwestern by 10.